Hey, what's up guys, it's Alex at La Sala. So today I'm doing a thermostat on a 2015 GLA 250. I'll show you what I have to do. I'll try to cut some corners, try to get this job done fast because it's under the intake. It's kind of a pain in the ass. So we'll see how much time it takes and how we could do. So let's go. I started already draining the rad and I removed the airbox, so I'll show you because I have a few things we have to get out of the way to get to the thermostat that's hiding under the intake. So I guess a lot of Mercedes with this 2-liter turbo engine have this design. It's not the easiest design to get going. So let's see. So here I pulled out the airbox. Airbox connects from here to the airbox that's usually here. You have a rubber grommet here, here, and here. You have to pop those out, but all the wire harness has all these little clips going around the airbox. ECU is also attached to the airbox with little snaps, so unclip the 2 snaps, put the ECU to the side, and pull out the wiring harness going around the airbox, loosen the collar, pull out the airbox. I got the drip pan under the car. I already started draining the coolant. It's really actually a pain in the ass to get at the pet cot there, but I was able to. I don't know if you could see, I kind of pried the little, because you get the engine cover off, but then you have to pry there's another engine cover that's in front of the lower bumper valance, I guess, and it's like riveted in there or something. I wasn't able to remove it, so I just put a piece of 2x4 in there to kind of pry it up and pry it open, so I could get my my hand in there to just open the pet cot. And my understanding is this the thermostat is hiding all the way. There's the engine, front of the car, and the thermostat is hiding all the way under here, under the intake. I don't know if you guys could see it, but it's somewhere in that location. So I'm gonna go ahead, start pulling some stuff apart, and see how it goes. So here guys, this is how I got the rad drained. I mean, I don't know I guess you could go without it because it's pretty tricky to get in there. There's not really any room. This plastic was already broken. I didn't break it, it was pre-broken. So I yanked it a bit with a piece of 2x4, and I was able to get in there on the pet cot right here. So there, with the mini channel lock, I was able to just slacken it a bit, and then I was able to twist it with my fingers and drain the rad and the drip pan. But I mean, it was still a pretty decent job. I don't know why they make it so complicated. I don't know why there's no access trap here or something. I mean, this belly pan here, I don't know if it's riveted or what, but it's completely stuck in there. I wasn't able to get it off. I didn't really want to waste too much time trying to figure this out. I think might not be that bad actually. I think there's maybe some tabs there. Gotta maybe push these down and pull on it, but anyways. I just released it. I took out the little engine cover under here and I went in this way and got it off. So here I started taking a few things apart. Torx here for the water pipe. Another one under here. Holding the water pipe to the block here. Intercooler pipe. Release the clamp this way. This little notch has to kind of pull down. You have to take out the 2 sides first, and then this kind of pops out of place, so you're able to free up the intercooler pipe. So when I remove the intake later on, it's not stuck on the intercooler pipe. We have some hoses in the back, few connectors here. We have some connectors running in the back here. One here, one here. Where's this one here? I don't even remember why I took this one apart. Oh, it goes here. This one here. You got this breather valve here. There's a little Torx in the back here you have to remove. Disconnected the pipes here, everything that's running along the intake, and Probably more stuff I'm gonna have to remove. Disconnected this breather hose also from here, so I get some slack in it, so when I move the intake it doesn't pull on it and break it. And let's see what else I gotta take out. Here, the PCV Pancake breather valve. Pull that out. You have to yank on it to get it released from this little locking device. I have this breather hose here that comes along here. I just moved it out of the way, unclipped it from the back of the manifold. I tie wrap it to the dipstick, keep it out of the way so I don't have to disconnect it. Pancake valve on the side. So here, I got most of the stuff off the manifold here. I still have that little valve here I have to remove in the back, one torque screw here. And hopefully I'll have enough room to just pull the manifold back and have access to the thermostat that's located underneath. Here guys, I forgot to tell you earlier, you have one little screw right in here holding the manifold, well, not the manifold, but the inlet pipe to the throttle body to the manifold, because if you don't take that one out, when you take the manifold off the back of the head, it's going to be stuck in there. And then you have, I think, 5 screws, if I'm not mistaken, in the back of the manifold. 1, 2, 3, one's under right here, 3, 4, 5. So you have 3 on top and 2 in these little crevices. Then I have the manifolds loose now. It's off the head, but there's still something stuck underneath, I guess, holding it down. So I'm gonna try to figure that out and I'll be back. So here guys, in the end I ended up removing the manifold. It wasn't an option. So basically, look, you have the 5 bolts here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're all accessible from the top. You have the 3 connectors I was showing you earlier, 1, 2, 3, and they're under the intake. You have this port for the breather. You have this other valve I removed earlier. I had showed you the little Torx holding it here. Get that off. And right here, there's a bracket. See, there's a little tab that kind of locks the bracket for the connector in place. It was really hard to get out of there. This is under the intake. You don't have much room to get your hands in there. It's this little connector. You have to slide it towards the passenger side, and it was really stuck in there. So I was able at some point to get my my hand under there and really yank on it. When I had most of the intake, I kind of flipped the intake over and was able to get my right hand in there and pull on it pretty hard to release it from the manifold, because that would basically prevent the manifold from going anywhere. I couldn't lift the manifold, I couldn't pull it anywhere. So I got that out of there. This is the breather pipe. This is the last one I removed from that breather hose I showed you. So there's a clamp there. So once I had everything loose, I was able to lift the manifold, get under there with a little mini channel lock to pull the clamp off. Also, there's a few valves here I had to remove. This goes on these 2 studs, but it was in the way when I was pulling the manifold, because the manifold was hitting the back on the firewall, so it was kind of stuck in there. So I took these little valves, just tossed them to the side. With this other little other valve here, there's a little tab right here. Push this tab, slide it off the little bracket right here. So you have to push the tab, slide the connector off of there. So, and I ended up removing the throttle body. Obviously, throttle body came apart when I took out the intake pipe. Intake pipe right here. You have your regular, it's a square flange, 4 bolts to get the intake pipe. You have this little breather hose is on top of the intake pipe. I had to remove this breather hose to get at the bolt, the top left bolt here, this one right there, because as you could see, the pipe's right against it, and when the actual pipe was on there, the flange was in the way. So this one has a little locking tab right here. Get this, it's hard to do when I'm holding the camera. So this little locking tab right here, you have to get a screwdriver in there. Let me grab a screwdriver, I'll show you. So you get a screwdriver in here, you pry this thing open, you pry it away like this, and while you're prying, you pull on the pipe. Pipe will come right off. So I guess in the end maybe I didn't have to remove this intercooler pipe, but I mean I removed it anyways. You also have a little screw here. I don't know if I told you earlier, there's a little screw here holding the actual pipe up to the block, so you have to get that loose to separate everything. And that's it. Everything else, the connectors I showed you earlier, and it's pretty straightforward, just a little time consuming. I don't know why they hid the thermostat all the way back there, but anyways, that's where it is. So I'm going to tag that right now and I'll get back to you guys after. So there you go, I got the thermostat off. It was a pretty tricky job. So I mean, once the manifold's off, it's pretty straightforward. The only hose I had a little issue with was the little one here, the last one. The clamp is like poorly, badly located, so I basically took out the 4 other hoses, took out the 2 screws holding the thermostat to the block, and I was able to you know, twist the thermostat and get that hose clamp that was pointing downward. So I mean, except for that one, this one too maybe was a bit tricky because the hose clamp's pointing downward, so it was hard to get at, but I was able to get at it with a water pump plier. And that's it. I mean, I'll put the new one back in and see how it goes. If there's any other little things I want to say, I'll get back, and that's it.